Oh, this is going so bad. Oh no. Well, we are already starting this video off to a fantastic start. I already filmed this intro, but I went back and everything was blurry. So we're gonna restart this whole thing. But Bite Beauty recently came out with this whole complexion line with foundation, primers, powders, and today we are getting into trying this all out, wear testing, doing a side-by-side comparison. Let's get on into this again. So I do have a little bit of the foundation on my face because I was color swatching it on my face, but I got 2 shades of the foundation. The foundation is called the Changemaker Supercharged Micellar Foundation, and I got the 2 shades after the lightest shade. So I got light 15 and light 20. That's what they look like on the packaging. These are $39.50. You guys know how I feel about the 50 cents. Like, when brands are, I just make it $40. We don't care about paying the extra 50 cents, I promise you. But this is supposed to be like a natural skin finish, medium coverage, clean, vegan foundation, and I didn't understand the whole micellar part of this foundation. Like, why is it a micellar foundation? But it says that it has micellar technology that mimics skin texture for a non-cakey look on your skin. So if anybody else was wondering that, it was on the Sephora's app underneath this foundation as to what the heck they were talking about when it said micellar foundation, because I know for a while everything was like micellar mascara, micellar shampoo, like everybody's micellar, so it's like, oh, what? Now we have micellar foundation. And then the skin type for this is normal, combination, oily, and dry. I do have a bit of combination skin, so I'm hoping this foundation is going to work for me. I love the brand Bite. I've been a big Bite Beauty fan for about 4 years now, and man, when they came out with complexion products, you guys know, I was like counting down the days. I was like, come on, I need to get it. But this is what the actual tubes of the foundation look like. I don't like that there's a sticker, because I feel like if you're somebody that has one foundation and you use up the whole foundation, then you know, like, the words start to fade on the foundation. Like, when you use the whole thing and you're like traveling with it and this is like the only foundation that you have, having a sticker on the back to where it falls off kind of gets annoying, especially if you're going to repurchase the foundation in the future. That's just a little nitpicky of mine. Next thing we have is the Changemaker Flexible Coverage Press Powder, and I got this in the shade Light 2. This one is a blur mattifying touch-up and for boosting coverage, and this is $36. So I'm really interested in to see what this is going to do. It does come with a little spongy puff. It looks pretty cute. It kind of reminds me of the Laura Mercier one. And then this is the packaging. It has a little bit of like a domed kind of shape to it. And then this is what the powder looks like up close. Gotta make sure I stay in focus this time. And then they came out with 2 different primers for this foundation and powder. One is for normal to dry skin and the other one is for normal to oily skin. And since I have combination skin, I thought it would be a good idea to try one on one side of my face and one on the other side of my face, just to see if I like one better or if I like them both, or if there's any big differences for me. And these are $38 each, and they're supposed to help neutralize your skin type. So they're both supposed to help like balance your skin. So like if you're really dry, it'll help to balance out that dryness, or if you're really oily, combination skin, we'll see how that goes. And it's also supposed to help to grip the foundation, and that's for both of these. Has the same description on Sephora's website, so we'll just see what happens. Yeah, on the back they both have the same description. The primer that changes everything and neutralizes your skin. Love your foundation results. Yup. And then on the top here, it says like which one is which. I forgot to show you guys. You can see the difference between them. So this is the normal to dry skin primer, and this is the normal to oily skin primer. So oily has the clear teardrop and dry has the build up teardrop. It is a really rainy, gloomy day today, so that is why my hair is such a mess. It is so frizzy from the humidity. But this is also going to be a more realistic test because it's humid, it's like 70 degrees, it's raining, it's gross, but we'll see how my skin goes with this whole thing. So I already filmed this part, but I'm going to show you guys again because I feel like the shade range for light skin tones is not the best, especially like for my skin tone in particular. Like if you have a skin tone close to mine, it might be a little bit hard for you to find your perfect match because this shade, this pink one right here, is the second lightest shade in the foundation range, and this one next to it is the third lightest foundation shade. So I already put this one on this side of my face right here, and I put the more peachy one on this side of my face, and I mixed the two and put it on my chin. And I do like them mixed a little bit more than, well actually let me mix them on my hand right next to each other. There we go. So that's a mix of the both of them, and this is like my perfect foundation shade. So I'm gonna go ahead with that. But if you guys are interested in this foundation, I would definitely recommend going in store and checking it out, because when I was looking at the shade range online, it wasn't what I was really expecting in store, if that makes sense. Like I was looking at it online, I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna be like the second or third lightest shade, and then when I got there I was like, ugh, and then I swatched the lightest shade and it was like so light, and I was like, I actually don't really have a foundation shade, like a perfect match, which has been a while since that happened, but regardless. Oh, and then the other new product that they came out with is the Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayon. This is $24, and I got another shade of this in the Trend Mood box, but when I went and saw the whole display for everything, the shade Hard Cider really was calling to me, so I picked that up so I could try it on in this video. So I took off the remaining foundation that was on my face. Let's get into seeing what these primers feel like. So this is the normal to oily primer. They all, this is another thing I forgot to mention, they all have these seals on them. So if you get one that doesn't have a seal, then you know it was used. All right. I'm just gonna do a little bit, and then normal to dry. Oh, okay, yeah, so the normal to dry definitely has a bit of a creamier consistency right off the bat, and then this is the normal to oily. Let me feel the normal to dry. Yeah, this definitely feels more like a moisturizer consistency, like the Hangover primer. Let's see about, oh, okay, interesting. I don't really know how to describe what this feels like. This feels like a thicker, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like, oh, well, let me think. It kind of feels like the Florence moisturizer, where it's like a little bit more of like a thicker gel consistency, but it has that like pore blurring feeling to it. So I'm gonna put normal to dry on one side of my face. Put normal to dry on this side of my face. Okay. It's not as watery as the Hangover primer. It feels pretty moisturizing. Like it feels like you really, I don't know how to explain it. It feels pretty moisturizing is what I'm saying. It doesn't feel like water where it just kind of like disappears like right when you put it on your face. It has like a bit of a thicker feeling on your face, but in a good way. I do get dry over here, so I'm gonna put a little extra TLC over here. I don't think the primer added any more of like a glow on this side of my face than the other side of my face. But now let's try the normal to oily. Yeah, it is so much thicker. This primer isn't as hydrating as the other one. It feels like it kind of sits on top of your skin a little bit more, and it does have more of that like pore filling consistency on your face. Like this side of my skin feels a little bit more plump and hydrated, and this side feels a little bit the Tatcha primer on my skin. I'm a little worried this side is gonna ball up, so I might use this side with the sponge. Yeah, this side is starting to ball up a little bit. It's not as bad as that hangover night cream, if you guys saw that video. That was terrible. Yeah, right around here where I'm a little bit more dry is kind of balling up a little bit. So far, first impressions, I do like the normal to dry primer a bit more for my skin type, because this is not balling up at all. This is balling up where I do get a little bit more dry spots on my skin, but I did exfoliate my face before this, so I know for sure that it's not dry skin. It is the primer. But now let's try the foundation out. We're gonna be doing a whole 8-hour wear test, because this does have a clinical study on it for 8 hours, so I want to make sure that I try it out for 8 hours. All right, so I just mixed up equal parts of this foundation, and with swatching it to try it on, it did apply pretty well. So I'm just gonna put what's left over on my hand just on my face, and we're gonna use this side with the beauty blender to see how this works, and then I'll save you guys in a bit. This is definitely a light medium coverage foundation. I can tell that straight off the bat. I'm gonna zoom you guys in to apply the rest of this foundation, but it seems like it's applying pretty well with a sponge. It's looking pretty skin-like. Definitely if you have like redness in your skin, or like just want to even out your skin tone, I think this is a really good foundation for that, just straight off the bat. Because if you guys notice on this side, I do have a bit of discoloration. I do have redness in my skin, and this foundation definitely evens that all out pretty quickly for me. It does still have like my veins, freckles, all showing still, and I do have a bit of redness around my nose still. But as far as this side goes, this side does look pretty good. Oh, got a little bit right there. It's not going into my pores really funky on this side, but now I'm gonna try out this side with a brush. I'm gonna use my favorite foundation brush. This is the Sephora Pro Sculpting Blush Brush, but I absolutely love it for foundation. I don't know if it's gonna give me more coverage. A lot of the times these type of foundations don't really do that well with a brush. Yeah, the side is still, I'm not really liking the brush side. Yeah, I'm not really liking it with a brush. I feel like it's going into my pores more. It's looking a little cakey around my nose. It has like a bit of brush strokes. So I'm gonna finish off this side with the foundation, with a sponge. I do feel like a sponge kind of evenly distributes it better. And I do like this with my fingers as well. From doing like a test swatch, I do think that it looked a lot better with a sponge and my fingers. All right, this is it all blended out on both sides. It is pretty natural looking. It is a very good no makeup kind of foundation. It blends in pretty seamlessly to my neck. There's not any kind of like harsh lines. I think it evened out redness pretty well. It is looking a little bit cakey around my nose on this side, but I think that's because of the brush, because on this side where I only use the sponge, it doesn't look cakey at all. So I'm gonna keep this in mind for like following up and stuff. Oh my god, look at my hair. It is so humid outside, My baby hairs are going crazy. And we're gonna keep an eye on creasing, because a lot of the times when I use like a natural looking foundation, it tends to crease a lot on me, and then it doesn't really look so natural. So if this doesn't crease on me, I'm gonna be pretty happy. So I'm only gonna use a little bit of concealer. I'm gonna use the Naked concealer. This has been one of my favorite concealers for the last like 6 months. So I'm gonna use just a teensy bit of this because I haven't been getting a lot of sleep and I haven't been posting a lot of videos, because if you guys don't know, I got a new puppy and he is kind of taking a nap by my feet right now. So I'm not gonna pick him up right now and show you guys. Maybe I will later on in the video, but he's been a bit of a handful for me. But I still love him. All right, the concealer went over top of this foundation pretty well. Oh, there's a little eyelash. I'm going to set where I get oily with my regular powders that I've been using. This is just the Kat Von D powder. I'm almost done with this. Do you guys see? I have like that much left of this powder, and I'm trying to get rid of this because I've had this for like 2 years and I'm trying to like use up the rest of it. But saying that, I do trust this powder a lot. I'm just gonna set it underneath my eyes with a brush. I'm gonna set my forehead. All right, so now that we got the places set where I want it to be set, I want to show you guys what it looks like with powder over top of it, because it actually looks pretty freaking good on my forehead, in between my eyebrows, underneath my eyes, around my nose, my mouth area. It does not look cakey or dry or powdery at all. It still has a pretty nice like skin like glow to it. I'm liking that. And no creasing thus far, other than like my natural actual creases. Same with my smile lines. So now let's get into this powder. I have the shade Light 2, and it says that you can use this to blur, build coverage, mattify, touch up. We're gonna try this out. It says build, set, touch up for flawless skin. Coverage control is in your hands. It says directions, build coverage for best results, use with Changemaker primer and foundation. And that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna try out this little puff. It feels like a thinner version of the Laura Mercier, so it doesn't feel like a cheap puff at all, and it's actually pretty cute. So I'm just gonna do what I normally do with a pressed powder and a puff. I'm just gonna pick up a bit, and I'm gonna zoom you guys in before I do this, so you guys get a good idea of my cheeks where I didn't really set with the regular powder. We're gonna see if it builds coverage or blurs my pores. It definitely builds coverage, and it definitely is pretty yellow for me. Oh yeah. Oh, that I was not expecting this shade to look so dark on my face. Oh no. All right, well, if we mess up one thing, we might as well just go all in. So, oh, this is going so bad. Oh no. Wow. All right, so first off, besides the yellowness, it did blur my pores out. It does look pretty matte. It doesn't feel heavy, but the coloring, guys, the color of this is redonkulous, and I look like a clown. And this is the second to lightest shade. What the actual heck? I literally had Light 1 in my basket, and I opened up the tester of Light 2 and swatched it on my hand, and I was like, oh, I think this one's gonna be better. Little did I know. But now I have to make my whole face yellow, because if I don't, it's not going to look right. Oh goodness. What did I do? All right, I'm gonna take just a regular powder brush and just kind of dust off some of this powder. All right, that did make it look a little bit better. Oh my god, I'm gonna look like an Oompa Loompa today. Note on you guys, if you're picking up this powder, definitely go a shade lighter than what you think you are, because it goes darker on your face than it looks in the pan. Yo, what the heck? Oh my gosh, that was like such a good freaking color match. I'm gonna put this under my eyes too. As far as the actual foundation and everything, it feels pretty good. Doesn't feel like anything's on my face. It feels pretty velvety smooth. It does feel like skin. It doesn't feel sticky or anything. It does transfer just a teeny bit, but like if you're gonna like itch your face, I don't think it's gonna be a huge problem. Still no creasing. I do feel like the powder really mattified and blurred a lot more than what I thought it was gonna do. It looks pretty good. Other than the color being off, I do think this does look pretty good on my skin. You guys gotta let me know what you think, because I think it looks pretty good. But I'm going to keep just my foundation on today. I'm not going to be doing the rest of my makeup, and then I'm going to be trying the lip product later on because it is about 12:30 and I haven't eaten lunch yet and I'm pretty hungry and I don't want to put lipstick on and then, you know, but I'm going to be doing a wear test for 8 hours, so I'm going to check in later on through the day if I notice any differences in my skin. We're gonna see if the oily side looks worse or the dry side, or if they look both the same. But so far with the foundation on, I don't notice any difference between the different primer sides. I do feel like they feel the same with the foundation on, and they do look pretty similar. I'm gonna check in later in with you guys. All right, it is currently 6 o'clock. So it's been a while and he's crying. We're still crate training him, but I needed to do this update. So far the creasing is not bad at all. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. So for like, what is that? 6 hours for this minimal of creasing that you can't even really tell. Same with my smile lines. I do feel like the creasing is a little bit better on the hydrated primer side. And the other thing that I wanted to point out that I just noticed is I'm not as yellow as I was when I first put that powder on. So at least it didn't oxidize more where I got even more yellow. That's the good part. I am creasing a little bit under my eyes, but a lot of my creasing, as long as it's not like super pronounced, this is what my face looks like 99% of the time. So it's all good. But I'm actually really pleasantly surprised that like no oils are really breaking through on either side. So far, so good. And I only got a little bit longer. I'm gonna take my makeup off around 9 o'clock, so that'll be a full 8-hour wear time. And I think how this is going so far, it's going pretty dang good. I really don't notice any differences between what my skin looked like at 1 o'clock or at what time, 12 o'clock, that I did my initial review to now. And it still feels really nice. So this is my somewhat cleaned finger, and we'll just run it along the face, and look at that. That is like hardly any transferring. So I'm actually really happy about that, because I'm a kind of person that if I'm at home or something, or I haven't worn makeup in a while, and then I go to put like a no makeup on, I kind of forget that it's on, and then I'll go and like itch my nose, and I'm like, oh my god, like all my makeup's gone from my nose. If you've never done that, let me know, because I do that all the time. Or like, you know, you're like, itch your eye, or you know, you just act like how you would normally act without any makeup on, and you don't really feel it on your face. So you know what I mean. You itch it, and then you're like, ee, whoops. I literally did that when Nessa was here. I had a bunch of eyeshadow on, and I went to itch my eye like this, and it took off all my eyeshadow, and I was like, well. But I'll see you guys in a few more hours to do a final review and hopefully he won't be crying. All right, it is now 9:30. There are some people over at my house right now, so it does sound pretty noisy, but before I forgot, I needed to finish up my check-in, final check-in. Not much has changed between now and the last check-in, other than my hair looks even crazier. My whole backside is soaking wet right now because it is like tornado warning flash flooding outside, but the puppy still needs a pee, so that's what's going on with that. Just to zoom you guys in, as you can see, not hardly any oils have come through. At the most, probably in my forehead area, but surprisingly, my skin looks pretty fresh. Not much has changed with the creasing. I do have more creasing in my smile lines, but I think it's because a bunch of people came over and I'm like, you know what I mean? I honestly give this foundation a huge thumbs up. Biggest thing with this foundation is the shade range for fair light skin tones. There's not a lot of like that fair neutral zone, which is where I am in. As far as the primers, I'm probably gonna have to use them more because I really don't notice that big of a difference. Again, I do have combination skin, so I could be benefiting from both of these primers, but I really don't know. I'm just gonna have to use them more. The powder, I do think it helped keep this pretty matte, and it did blur, and it did everything it said. It just was way too yellow for my skin, and I did go back and edit the footage beforehand earlier today, and on the camera it really didn't look yellow, but sitting here looking in the mirror with this yellow t-shirt and the light background, my face was looking really yellow in the mirror, but it didn't catch it on camera for whatever reason. But before I totally end this, I do want to try out the two new Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayons. Everyone's playing with a puppy, so let's go in here. This is what the lip looks like. It has the bottom like their other lip crayons, and then the cap is like their regular bite lipsticks, which is interesting. And then you pop it off and it's like a crayon. Let's see, this one is pavlova. Don't really know how to say that. So this is what this one looks like on me. Again, I don't have any eyeshadow on, but just to show you what the shade looks like, it is your kind of basic deeper magenta berry. And then the next one is the shade Hard Cider, which when I saw this shade, I thought it was so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's like a brownie mauve, I don't know. But again, same kind of packaging, but the colors are changed. I don't know, I kind of find this a little strange because I've had so many bite lipsticks that are like literally the size that I'm like, it's supposed to be a lipstick, but it's crayon. But that's what it looks like. And this is Hard Cider. I wish I had this shade more in the fall months because this is like such a nice fall shade. But the formula is very similar to their regular bite lipsticks, but just in a crayon form. Like, they're pretty creamy and they feel like they could dry down a little bit more matte over time, and they have like kind of a satiny finish. Someone is exhausted from playing, but I got him. Look, Cash, can you say hi? Are you pooped out, freaked out? He's so cute. Look at this face. He's so cute. And foundation does not transfer on puppies. So you can snuggle your puppy all you want and your foundation won't transfer. Isn't that right? Are you getting camera shy? You were just barking all that much. And now you're camera shy? Alright, say bye, Cash. With my giant paws. Bye-bye. He's 3 months old. Oh, I don't know why he's so shy. He loves to like play dead. I don't really know. Like he loves to like get limp when he doesn't want to do anything. Like right now, he's so happy. He's 25 pounds, 3 months old. Oh man. But you guys met the little troublemaker that's causing me to upload my videos late. But I'm gonna let him go now. Alright, and that is it for this video. If you guys haven't seen my last video, everyone that's downstairs is the people that we filmed a video trying out a bunch of weird sodas. So if you haven't seen that video, it is quite funny. I'll have that video linked right over here. This video will be suggested to you by YouTube, and my dog is eating stuff and trying to run away with it. So I'll see you guys later.